I've got Scott Marcus of Restore Hyper Wellness here with us. First off, Scott, thank you for being here. Tell me about your position with Restore.
So I'm a owner of as a franchisee of Restore. We've got over 200 locations around the country. I own 3 locations in the Metro Detroit market.
Okay, and when did you acquire those?
We've had one location for about 2 years, one for about a year, and then the third one is about 5-6 months that it's been open.
Great. So what software were you using before TrueLark, if any?
We really weren't. It was all human effort and human work, and that's we realized that our team didn't have time to service our customers and our members, and so we were finding that we were not getting back to people if they called, or a lead would come in and we didn't follow up with them appropriately. And I think we also found that if you didn't get back to those leads quickly, if it was a day later, they were gone. They were thinking about another business or another activity they were gonna look to do.
Okay, so why did you pick TrueLark? How did you find us?
It was really through referrals within the franchise network of Restore. A number of other franchisees had used them, and as I dove in, I really wasn't familiar with the technology. In really looking at it and seeing the capability, I think the fact that it really learned our business, and it wasn't a generic conversation, so to speak. It was really geared towards what we do, and it was so real when I tested it out. It understood what our services were, and was so accurate that it really felt like it was a human being.
Excellent. So do you have any idea of how many new customers you have gained since having TrueLark, even an estimate?
We know that we probably get over and let me change that. We really look at it as people in the door. We're not going to get a member per se from TrueLark, but what we want to do is engage with the lead to then get them booked for an appointment. And if we get them for an appointment and we get them in the studio, that's where the new customer engagement or conversion will occur. And so we saw right away with TrueLark that the number of our first-time guests doubled practically. So we probably have over 100 first-time guests a month. It's then up to our staff to go ahead and convert them when they're in the studio.
Okay, and so that frees up your staff, right? So they don't have to talking to a guest to go answer the phone.
That's right. That's right. And the guests and members are happier too, because they're able to handle whatever they need through TrueLark.
Do you get a sense that there's a high volume of calls outside of business hours?
I haven't studied it, but yes, I think our hours are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So there's definitely some morning calls we get, kind of that 8 to 10 a.m. And we're open on the weekends, but those also are limited hours. So yeah, we do see a lot of that, and we see a lot of lead engagement at all times. And so to get that lead engagement even when we're not open is fantastic.
So the most recent Restore location that you opened, did you do all the pre-bookings before the grand opening with TrueLark? Did you already have that in place?
We did not, and really I couldn't wait to get it activated when we did open. So when we did open, we have so many first-time people. Every single customer is a first-time guest, and so our staff at that point is just overloaded, having to deal with the people in the studio. So that's really where TrueLark helped a lot when we did open the doors and activated it.
So do you have dedicated front desk staff?
They're not dedicated, but they're there at the front desk, but then they also will service the client and take them to their modality or to whatever they're going to be doing that day. So it's a lot of coming and going and a lot of engagement when someone walks in the door. So if the phone rings, there's probably a 50% chance they're not going to be able to answer it.
So do you believe that with TrueLark, you can operate with a smaller team, or at least more efficiently with a smaller team?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's, we need probably the same amount of our team, but it allows our team to engage with our customers that are in the studio, as opposed to having to answer the phones all day and follow and make outbound calls all day.
So they can just manage by exception and just do the callbacks. They can look in their dashboard, right, and say, oh, I need to call these people back at their when it's convenient. Yep. There's no one in the office or the front of the store. So do you have any idea of how much additional revenue you get monthly using TrueLark?
It's a really tough thing to quantify. I know that it's always a big question of, okay, what's your return on investment? But for us, I can just, based on the pure quantity of engagement, I don't know. There's just so much that I can't even, if I were to try and quantify it, it wouldn't even represent the value of it, to be honest, because it's not just the dollars and cents of it. It's the volume of leads that we have and how we engage with those leads. And, we don't always, and if we, TrueLark has, like I said, they have nothing to do with really the conversion of that lead. It's to get them booked and into the studio. Casting
the net. So how many, at any given time, how many online campaigns would you have, in various digital channels?
Two to three. We try and limit it just to not confuse the staff and not confuse the customers.
Okay. And so when, and someone new online that's never, scheduled with you before, do you have any idea of what do you think the conversion rate is for that first appointment coming through Lead Engage?
We're probably, I would say 30 or 40%. Lead to first time visit.
And do you have a sense of how many of those first time visitors become repeat clients?
Probably around 30%, 30 to 40%. Hoping to have that number higher, but that's probably about where it is now.
I would think in the industry, it's, I can't imagine doing better than that from my research. So yeah. How do your employees, what do they say about TrueLark and what's their experience?
Well, the first part was the training was easy. It was easy for them to understand. It's easy when we have a new employee to teach them the system and explain how it works. So they love it. And they also like that they don't feel like they have to leave a client to answer a phone. And really the clients love it because if they want to cancel an appointment, they know how to do it now. They can do it through TrueLark, and it just saves a lot of time.
So how often do you think they look at that dashboard of all the calls? Or they,
It stays open all day. So I think that they're looking at it constantly.
That's great, just to see who they need to call back quickly if they need to and how things are going. So what's your experience working with the TrueLark team? I guess you work with Toppin, and I'm not sure who else.
Yeah. Just from a technology standpoint, they've been so open to new ideas and how to improve the system and little tweaks here and there of how we can engage better with our clients.
So do you have the two-way texting and a chat bot on your website?
Not on the website, because the website is through our corporate franchisor. But we do have the two-way texting where we can take over and communicate directly.
And so so existing clients, they can do an inbound text to schedule, right? From you're saying texting number.
Correct. Yep.
Right. Anything else that you'd like to share?
No, it's been great. I tell all of our my fellow franchisees about TrueLark, and it's I know ROI is a big keyword, but it's really much more than that, as a piece of the daily operation of the business.
So how large is your team? Say it,
At any one time in a studio is 3 or 4 people.
and they handle everyone, right?
Yep. And we might have 60 to 80 services a day that we're servicing. So we're, they're busy with those customers
All day. Well, that's great. Hey, we appreciate being your partner, and
my pleasure.
it's been great meeting you, and I